Hey Covenant, my name is Patrick Griffey, the Associate Director of Discipleship, and this is Wednesday Rewind. As you see, we're in a new space. We're in a new studio, and we're starting a new series. We just did our first week of a seat at the table, where Pastor Darren walked us through Jesus performing this miracle at the wedding in Cana. Now, it's interesting that this miracle is Jesus first. It's the first time that his mom's like, hey, you need to do something about this situation. And we see Jesus come on the scene and do something miraculous. And if you know anything about Scripture, we're going to read today is at the very end in Revelation. So we see Jesus' time kind of bookended by weddings. His first miracle is performed at a wedding. And the last thing that we see in Scripture is the wedding between Christ and his bride, the church. But before we get to that, I want to emphasize something. When we started planning ahead, we started thinking about this seat at the table. What we really envisioned was this entire concept or this overarching theme that there is room at Jesus' table for you. But what I want to flip on its head is to consider in your life, is there room at your table for Jesus? We see in all these passages that we're going to look at through this series are really Jesus taking ordinary moments and making them extraordinary. A wedding is not necessarily something that is out of the realm of normal. It's something we have mostly all been to, we've all taken part in, and we've attended. But Jesus did something miraculous at this wedding. At one point, we're going to look at Jesus just kind of in the fields. He's just walking through these fields of wheat and barley, and he does something miraculous in that moment. We also see where Jesus is just having a picnic. He's outside with his disciples, and he's teaching on the mountainside, and he does something miraculous. So it's looking at these ordinary moments and making something extraordinary out of them. That's really what we're looking at in this Seat at the Table series. How can we transform our humdrum, mundane moments and make them something special for ourselves and those around us? I know for my daughter, anytime we sit down for a meal, she usually has a mouthful of food and she is rushing through praying so she can get back to eating. But how can we really invite God's presence anytime we sit down with somebody else to just enjoy presence? But I want to go back to the wedding at Cana because Jesus does something miraculous in this moment where he takes this water and he turns it into wine, and good wine. And one thing that wine requires is time. It requires age. So in this moment, Jesus not only changes water, which is a regular substance, into something miraculous, he also kind of injects time into that. And we see the miracle of just, I keep saying the word time, but that is really the only way to describe it. He injects time into this miraculous occasion, and he makes good wine, choice wine, elite wine. But this is at a wedding, and we see this is the first thing that Jesus ever does miraculously in front of his disciples. But I want to look at Revelation, and this is Revelation 21. This is right at the end of Scripture. We've got one page after this. It is 1138 in my Bible, and my Bible goes to 1140. And the last thing that takes place is a wedding. And we're going to read chapter 21, verses 1 through 3. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God." I love the imagery of weddings and marriages that are throughout Scripture, because that is how Christ approaches us as the church. We are his beautiful bride, made perfect for him in this end time. So again, as you go through these normal moments in your life, as you engage in meals with others, be sure to invite God's presence among you. It could be radically different than what you're used to. It could take a normal moment and make it an extraordinary moment. Join us this upcoming week as we see Jesus dining at the house of a Pharisee.